ものじゃなくてねじ切ったみたいね。
普通に言わないでください。とにかく警察だね。前を失礼いたします。何今の。
What
Yes.
did you think of Calamity of
That's-
a Zombie Girl?
That's exactly what I was about to say. I love you. You caught me right in the same thought. That's hilarious. Did anybody else watch this other than me and Jay?
We had a
Mo
whole
did.
show. We had a whole show about it.
Oh,
We're
okay.
waiting for
oh,
you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the last one to see. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, so yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh,
That might be the title of this
Uh-oh.
episode.
I don't like it.
I was like, because here's my thing. Like, I have no issue with a movie or a television show or whatever it is, like, not having likable people in it. Like, like not necessarily having a hero to root for. That's okay. But I want that joint to be done really well. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have, like, I want to feel compelled to root for the bad guy. And this joint, I'm not even sure, like it's just everybody in this I disliked. And there was nobody that I was like, oh man, I hope they get what they want. Like, I just like, it was like, really, I just was kind of sitting there and I was like, man, if a big black hole appeared out of nowhere and sucked all these people into it, that would probably be the best ending. I don't know, man. It just, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
So why didn't you like the Zombie Girl?
There was no reason to like her.
大丈夫ですか、お嬢様。石を抜かれたから不安定になっているんだと思います。早く取り返さないと。お嬢様、どうかなさいましたか。
100年か。知ってる人はもうみんな死んじゃったんだね。なんだか不思議。みんないなくなっちゃったっていうのに、一人ぼっちだっていうのに寂しくないの。まだ体は生きているのに、心だけは死んじゃったのかな。
お嬢様、一人ぼっちではありませんよ。一人忘れています。
アルマ。
私はお嬢様と生きるために生まれたのです。お嬢様にお仕えするために。私はずっとそばにおります。
そうか。だからか。
お嬢様。
大丈夫。もう平気。
Like, why would I like her? Like, I don't, start going into her backstory and I'm thinking like, okay, they're going to tell me something that's going to make me feel like, oh man, it's, her situation is kind of messed up. But it doesn't ever really come. It didn't come for me. I was just like, oh, okay, well, that's why she's a zombie. But outside of that, I'm just like, well, okay. I just didn't feel like I didn't relate pretty much to anyone. And none of the characters were that like particularly compelling, and then like from a narrative perspective, it doesn't really do anything that interesting to me. And like there's just weird choices that get made throughout from each of the characters, and just really silly kind
Like
of.
what? Go into detail. Like, what are the weird choices?
um okay, I mean, like right from the jump, like the the fact that the woman, I know she wants to go to the zombies because she wants to see the zombies because she wants the jewel thingy. You know, like I don't understand why she couldn't just tell somebody that and like have them help her, or even if she's like, I guess you know, I understand she was trying to keep it secret, but it's just, I guess it's all kind of weird because it's like I don't know that she necessarily needed to enlist the help of that crew of people to do what she needed to do. It felt like the people that she was already aligned with were probably all more than capable of doing, like breaking into that place and getting into those zombies, or getting to that, you know, zombie girl, I guess. But maybe not. I don't know, but that was weird. And then, the whole way that whole crew kind of interacts with each other, like it feels like none of them really like each other. Um, but then they have this club, and so that was strange. And then after the zombie girl comes to life, and she friggin' uh uh finds the first kid and like mutilates him or whatever, and he's trying to get help. And like this, just the idea that this guy's like running through the halls of this dorm, which I know that there's only a few people there because I guess it's winter break or whatever, or summer, I don't know. But and he's like basically armless, splurting blood all over the place, but nobody can help him. Nobody can like see, or for whatever reason, like recognize the fact that he's like in ridiculous distress. It's like it's all just really kind of uh, very strange and a little too convenient, where it's like, yeah. Uh, it. I understand that some of it is kind of like anime tropish, but it feels like it in the worst possible ways. It just, yeah. So I
Okay.
didn't like it. I watched it, and I think the only part that I really was like, oh, this is kind of interesting, was the kung fu fight. And I think that was the only part where I was like, oh, like, I kind of like this. Like, this is, but, at the same time, too, it's just like, ugh, like, then it, like, the, at the end, when the zombie girl gets the upper hand, it's like, oh, this just gets like gratuitous. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, we're just messing around and hurting people to hurt people now. Which, okay, I mean, it's a zombie girl, right? It's a monster, I guess. But
I
yeah,
mean, she was trying to defend herself.
the zombie girl.
Yeah.
I mean, she at the end, she's not trying to defend herself. At the end, she's just like smashing her, like that, literally smashing her. And so I was just like, okay, well, there it is. Like that was probably the closest thing. Like that character might have been the closest thing to a character I liked.
Really?
That's, yeah.
She was a dick.
They're all dicks, Joe. I don't know if you noticed.
I mean, the zombie girl isn't that bad.
What makes her not that bad? Like what? Like here's the thing. Like I, she's
Look, when you steal from a mummy, you get cursed. And you basically, she didn't want to kill all those people. but they wouldn't give her stone back. Like
But
if they gave her the stone, she would have went away. But they
I hear
chose
that.
not to do that.
Yeah,
And
but
that's why
like,
they died.
well, but
And they didn't even all die. Like, they let the one girl live
like, I guess what I'm saying is,
because she had the stone back. Like, once she got the stone back, the killing stopped. They let that one girl live, and they went on and did their own thing.
yeah, I don't know, the mummy was really strong. I mean, or the zombie. It's like, realistically, she didn't have to kill anybody to get the stone back. She just probably could have, like, you know, either tortured one or held them ransom, which I guess that technically happened for a hot second. But
Yeah, you
yeah,
saw how well that worked out.
yeah. Hey, listen, I can't dispute that. But yeah, for me, I just like
Also,
it.
the
Just
janitor was a good guy.
the
Like, he was
janitor.
probably the best person.
The janitor was the best person, and he died quickly.
And painfully, probably.
Yeah, yeah. So that was my take on it. I was just like, yeah. But I mean,
Okay.
yeah. What did you all think about it?
Oh, it was awful. It
Yeah,
was like, there were so many things. And you brought up that the woman didn't need the crew. You're right. The
yeah,
teacher should have had access.
yeah.
Like, you actually
Huh?
don't need those 5 people at all.
Mm-mm.
And it's like, the movie is just full of those, like, these really bad choices that they make.
Oh yeah,
Like, the delayed reaction to getting the arm torn off.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that went on way too long.
Oh,
And
dude.
the kung fu fight is ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
it actually changes the genres for
yeah.
that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so awkward. It's glorious. I love it. It's so terrible, but I
It's really
love it.
bad. Oh
Like,
no.
it is like terrible in the best way. It's like the
Yeah.
person had no idea how to make a horror movie. He
Nope.
just kind of read half a book on it, and you could see where he was trying to do a horror thing, but then he just fell back into anime.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's so awkward and so
Oh.
terrible,
Did you guys
and
talk
I
about
love it.
Did you guys talk about the basketball fight scene already?
Oh.
Yes, I think yeah, that's the kung fu fight.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah,
Because it
that
just
is
totally
bad it's good.
it totally just cuts to that scene. Like literally they're running and then all of a sudden it cuts to them like facing off in the gym. And it's just like why did this happen? Like what made her feel like, well, this is where I'm making my final stand. I don't know, man. It definitely didn't cross over to the whole it was so bad it was good thing for me. It didn't do
Yeah.
that for me. It
And I
stayed
could
in the
understand
bad
that,
zone.
but I just loved it so much. It's
Really?
so awkward.
Oh,
And you
dude.
can see he's trying so hard, kind of, to make
Hey.
a good movie, but he
I'm
just
just
doesn't
happy that
know
you think
how.
it's bad too. I thought you all liked it. I was like, oh, I don't know why they like this.
I mean,
Oh,
there's
no.
Yeah, it sounded like Joe was defending it while
Yeah.
you were talking, and then as soon as you ask him, he's like, "Oh, I agree with everything you said."
I mean, yeah, like, and I'm gonna point out the parts where they, like, if they got something right, they got something right.
yeah.
And I do like the zombie girl. I do think that if they had just gave her the stone back, she would have left them alone and they could have survived. But in a bad horror movie, everyone's got to die. So it's like they don't give her the stone back, even though that's the most logical thing.
Right.
And I mean, no matter how bad you want to fuck some teacher, when there's a zombie in front of you trying to get her stone back, you should give it back.
Did they ever explain what? Like, I might have missed it. What was the deal with the little servant
No.
girl?
They didn't explain it.
Yeah, she's just a servant girl.
Okay, but I'm like, why is she alive? Like, she don't know Jewel or nothing. Like, who?
Yeah, they kind of share it. Like the jewel is actually very ill-defined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should say.
Because it's like you take it
And that's
off.
part of what I love. Yeah, it's so ill-defined.
It reminds me of like the original Mummy. You know, you take. That's kind of like the vibe that it gave me, where it's like that didn't make a whole lot of sense itself. But yeah, it's a whole mess. I gotta watch it again to really talk about it. Cause
don't watch it again.
I did make a point when we actually talked about it the first time, but now it's lost. I've had moonshine,
That's okay.
so it's lost.
Yeah. No. Like, okay. Like, I'm done.
How
I'm
many?
done.
How many sarcophagus gems do you give it out of 5?
Well, because of the kung fu scene, I'll give it 1.
Is that it would have had 2, or
Say what?
it would have had 2 until the kung fu scene? Or
No.
it would've had 0
The kung fu scene's what stops it from getting 0.
in a basketball court.
Well, it eventually
And the
goes
blood and
outside.
guts weren't too much for you?
It wasn't too much, but I didn't like it. Like, that was like, I was like, when she started grabbing that chick and smashing her into the trees and stuff, I was like, oh, like, you know, it's like at this point in my life, I can do animated gore for the most part, at least. But, you know, it's like, I remember, you know, being, as you know, like, you remember when I was younger, I couldn't do animated gore. Like, I remember getting queasy watching Fist of the North Star.